Hello YouTube. Here we have a game, Kinemon versus Smoker. Smoker went first, Kinemon's going second. For the Smoker matchup, typically as green plays stuff on curve, black will just pop it the turn after. I didn't play anything on my turn one. I don't think I had anything, but if I did, he would just play his Kobe and pop it. He elects to attach all the Don to his leader and swing. My game plan is to kind of starve him of resource because he already has to discard cards to pop my characters. So if I don't need to go face, I won't. Here I do go face. I think the first few swings are okay. I still need to stay aggressive and keep his life total low enough that I can go for game later. So I just play Yamato for 3 without using her effect on any character. I honestly just need to get bodies on board so I can start swinging or having bodies just to clear his board. So he's at 5 Don. He's deciding what to do. If he does have a Kobe, he could pop it by using the leader ability to reduce by 1, and then Kobe KOs a 3 or less. So that would be a 4 Don commitment. So he's going to 7 the leader, reducing Yamato by 1. I'm going to take that, and here he summons out his Kobe, discarding his 2-cost blocker to get rid of my Yamato. So I'm just going to 5 to leader again. Either he takes a card out of his hand or he goes down to 3 life, after which I'll probably stop attacking life until I am close to game. With 6 Don, I play out a Toki and play out the Law to bounce Toki and summon out an Okiku. I didn't have another play from this turn. I was thinking potentially to summon out a Raizo and an Okiku and leave a Don up, but at least this way, if he does have Sakazuki, I'll bait it out by letting him pop the Law. It didn't seem like he had it, so this way I do have 2 bodies on board. Next turn I'll be at 8 Don, so I should be able to summon Odin or 7-cost Kid if I do have it in hand. Didn't seem like his hand was that good if he was forced to commit 3 Don this turn just to try to draw cards out of my hand. He uses the rest of his Don to play out the Borsalino, which will be a problem eventually for me, but the bigger concern is if he summons out a 4-cost Kuzan, which would enable him to KO any of my big drops. So I'm going to try to clear the Kobe. There's no reason for him to drop a 2k counter. Instead, he chooses to block with Borsalino, and I'm thinking he's doing that to try to bait me from playing the Odin. So he wants me to commit more Don into putting them under my characters to swing at the Borsalino. I'm not going to do that. It takes a lot of effort for Smoker to pop 1 card, so if I have a wide board, it's going to be a little tougher for him. He is at 9 Don now. I do have a turn before the Kuzan comes out, but he doesn't have the 4-cost Kuzan, so it's going to be tough for him to get rid of the Odin. So here he is trying to commit to getting rid of the Odin. He plays out the -2 cost, the -3 cost. So that's -5 cost, and then he's going to Kobe to pop an 8 cost. He chucks a card. So technically he committed 4 cards into getting rid of the Odin, and I still get to cheat out an Okiku or anything else I want. I'm considering what to do here, because he still does have 2 swings. I figure I can take out the Borsalino, rest it if I get out that Izo. This way I don't have to go for his life and give him more cards back. But in hindsight, just getting out an Okiku is probably better. He just puts 3 Don onto his leader and 8,000s into the Law. So now I have 2 cards on board to swing with. 10 Don. I believe my hand I still do have another big drop. I'm going to 6 into Borsalino and rest his Helmeppo. See if he could drop some more cards out of his hand. He does. I'm going to go for the Helmeppo with the Izo. No reason to counter out of that one. And in my hand, I believe I'm saving up 7 Don for the kid. So I just put the 2 on the Kinemon to swing at Borsellino. He drops another 2k for that. He has 3 cards in hand. He chooses to 5 to Okiku. I don't have much counter in hand, so I really can't save much. If he really wanted to, he could swing with his Borsellino as well, so I'm not trying to risk blocking with 7 cost kid. He's going to clear my board, and with the rest of his Don, he plays 4 cost Kuzan and 5 cost Smoker. So his board is pretty threatening. The only saving grace is that he only has 2 cards in hand while I have a lot more. At 10 Don, if I can find a way to get rid of that 4 cost Kuzan, I don't have to be scared of a 10 drop. Using leader ability, I play Yamato for 3, rest the Kuzan, and then I have 2 swings to get rid of it, so I could swing with the leader. I'm going to put 7, potentially 8. I put 7. The reason I would put 8 is so that if he does choose to block with Borsellino, he would have to drop more cards to counter out of it. But there's no reason that he would do that. And I put 7,000 leader just because I really need that card gone. And now I use 4 Don to Yamato the Borsellino and swing 8k at it. And now the only thing he has on a board that's a threat would be the Smoker. I am wide enough where if he does play the 10 drop, I still would be good. I can still swing with my board being wide. Here he's just going to start swinging wide. He doesn't really have much of an option but to be aggressive. And lucky for him, I didn't have any 2k counters, so I do end up dropping 2 cards from my hand. If I get too low, he would have a pretty good chance of winning. He plays another Kuzan, gets a +1. And plays another Kuzan for another +1. So he's just going really wide. He's just going to keep attacking my life, and eventually I'll run out of cards and won't be able to stop his attacks. I have 2 cards in hand, he has 2 cards in hand. He did end up swinging with that Smoker last turn, so it gives me something to attack. I have 4 attacks this turn, he has no blockers. So I can just start swinging 7, get rid of his hand if he has. And he doesn't have, so that's telling me I can probably start going for life. But those 2 Kuzans are kind of threatening. I do have 2 life, so if I leave the Kuzans on board, he does have 3 swings, including his leader, which kind of forces my 7-drop blocker to just be a chump blocker. I play the Odin out for 8. Really have no counters in hand. This turn for him, he has to just go for game. Because I do have Odin and 7-drop on board, it's going to be pretty hard for him to survive the next turn. So he commits to using 1 Don to -2 on my kid, and then Sakazuki to pop the kid. Now he only has 3 Don left. With 3 swings, I only have 1 card in hand. And the split he chooses to do was 5, 6, and 7, I assume. And that didn't work, so the first 5,000 attack, I counter out of it. He 6,000s to my board now, knowing that he can't go for game. So Odin double swing, and that's game. We had a little discussion after the game, just maybe considering if he swung 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, he potentially could have had game just because it would have forced me to have a 2K in hand. But yeah, thanks for watching.